After a blight has wiped out most of their crops and a bungled job interview for a housekeeping position, Gretel and Hansel's mother banishes the two children out into the woods, where they are ordered to go to a convent lest their father find them and take their lives. However, the two babes in the woods elect not to go to the convent and soon find themselves at a mysterious house that has a room full of delicious food just waiting to be eaten. The old woman in the house welcomes the two, and the two elect to do chores in order to pay back the favor of the food. However, the old woman senses a great power in Gretel and begins trying to exploit this, much to Hansel's disgust. However, as Gretel's powers begin to grow, she begins to realize the old woman's true intentions and a bizarre connection to an old fairy tale about a little girl in a pink hat who feasts on the soul of children lost in the woods. This is Gretel and Hansel. So, yeah, I'm fighting a cold if you can't really tell. So if this is really choppy, you might understand why. Basically, it's the old story of Hansel and Gretel, except in this case, they tweak things around a little bit. From everything I've ever heard, Gretel and Hansel and Gretel, or Gretel and Hansel, are supposed to be a bit more closer in age. In this case, they're supposed to be more like kind of youngish children. They're not supposed. In this case, Gretel is practically a teenager. The housekeeping job is a little bit more than that. The guy literally asks if she's a virgin. Not to mention she has her first menstrual cycle in the middle of the film as well. So, yeah, some of the padding in this is rather unique. And it definitely lays into this idea that she's trying to not fit the norm. Again, they're taking the idea of putting modern feminine ideals in a not modern movie. Probably a little bit better than that one with Jeremy Renner did, but still, it's basically that and the reason they're cast out is, like I said, there's a blight has wiped out the croplands, and then Gretel bungles this job interview, though she didn't really want the job. And the mother's going a little cuckoo herself, and she believes that the father is going to come back, and since they don't have enough food and for everyone, that he's going to wind up killing them. So she says she banishes the two children to a convent, and Gretel sort of points out, like, the convent's not going to take a guy. Like, convents are nuns, but still. And then they go, as they're journeying through the woods, they have this weird encounter with a huntsman who basically says, look, you don't want to go to a convent, you want to go to the forestry service. Or there's like there's a wood cutting town. I can't remember exactly everything, sorry. Yeah, it's like, unfortunately, like, once the story finally picks up, they get to the house, and then we start getting a lot of this more exploration of things. Like, the old woman, when they get there, the old woman's, like I said, she senses the power in Gretel, because this fairy tale that Gretel has always heard is about this little girl who got ill when she was very young, and her father took her to this enchantress who took out all the illness, but unfortunately took out a lot of her soul as well. And it left her with this power, and that people looked at her, knew she was beautiful, knew that she was also evil, and that she had the power of foresight, and she could also start to control people to kill themselves. And so they banished her out into the woods. And the old woman knows this. I won't get too far into the spoilers, but the old woman knows the story too, and knows that Gretel also has these sort of foresight, psychic powers to see. She has the ability to see things that aren't necessarily there. And, when they're out in the woods, like, they hear voices calling to them, and they see shapes. And so, yeah, it's like she senses the power in Gretel, and that she starts developing it. She teaches her how to make potions, how to make sleeping potions. She has this, she teaches Gretel that she can move wood with her mind. It's like she has to use this, I think it was like a salve or a lotion to, summon she could actually use it to control trees and stuff like that. So we get a lot of that, and as this is happening, like, first, Gretel is not trusting of the old woman, and Hansel is, and Hansel loves all the food, and he's like, yeah, everything's great, and she's teaching me how to cut wood, and I'll be a good woodcutter, and then we can go to the forestry store, and I'll succeed, I won't be such a standout. And Gretel's like, I don't know about this, but then it sort of starts to invert a little, like, Hansel starts actually hearing voices in the woods as well, and then he's sort of directed to, you see at one point he's walking through and he looks up and he sees all these children's shoes tied up in tree branches, and Gretel starts like, well, wait, I'm finding out things about myself that I really want to find out more about, and so it kind of inverses through it, and so it does take some interesting angles in that. The film has definitely a creepy atmosphere. Unfortunately, like, it doesn't quite build that atmosphere very well, and it doesn't really build on it too well. Like, again, you get this little bit of like, oh, the woman's creepy, but then like kind of nothing happens for a while, and it's just, oh, I mean, if you know the story of Hansel and Gretel, you know the story. So I mean, it's kind of, maybe that's part of the problem too. So some of the padding doesn't quite actually work, and it does cause pacing to be a little uneven. Like, it kind of drags a little bit, and then it rushes a little bit, when I wish it maybe explained a little bit more. I won't spoil too much, but again, if you know the story of Hansel and Gretel, you kind of know how the story ends, but there's a little bit more to it than that. Like I said, it's definitely more of a, I hesitate to say gender empowerment, but that sort of thing. Sorry again, the cold. What was it? Gender empowerment. Yeah, it takes this kind of unique gender empowerment angle to it. Unfortunately, like I said, it just falls a little short in some fields too. Like, it doesn't quite live up to expectation. Like, I don't know what exactly my expectations were, but I thought it could have done a little bit more with its premise, and then it kind of rushes a bit towards the ending. Like, it takes a while to get to the ending, and then I feel like the ending's a little uneven, and so I can't say it's entirely bad, but I can't say it's entirely good either. I'm going to be giving Gretel and Hansel a C. Like I said, there was definitely some plus sides to it, but again, pacing problems just kind of dragged it down, in my opinion.
There's no trick to giving out great Halloween treats with McDonald's Halloween gift certificates. For just $1, you get 20, and each one will change into a regular-sized soft drink almost like magic when redeemed at McDonald's. Make magic happen the easy way with McDonald's Halloween gift certificates. Now 20 for $1 at participating McDonald's.
Okay, trailer time, and we did get a couple of new trailers, but again, a lot of retreads. We got Sonic the Hedgehog again. We got Antebellum, that's the new movie from the producers of Get Out, and us. Not from the director of said films, but the producers. It still looks pretty interesting. We got Jungle Cruise again, New Mutants again, Invisible Man, Fantasy Island again, A Quiet Place Part 2 again, and our next new one is The Way Back. Ben Affleck plays a down on his luck former high school basketball star who comes back to coach at his old high school, and then No Time to Die. So yeah, that rounds things off there. The next movie scheduled to be reviewed is Birds of Prey. After that will be Sonic the Hedgehog. And kind of around those, you're going to get the random trade review on The Massive Volume 1. And, sorry, you'll get the recap and review of NXT TakeOver Portland. See you all next time. Hey guys, remember, you can help support my channel at patreon.com/SleepyTimeForCat Productions, where you can help request a movie, even if it's something like, say, Sonic the Hedgehog or the next Purge film. I'll review it.